What up, everybody? It's Lonnie here. We're looking at TXC on Wednesday, December 3rd. For those of you new to TXC, or some of you may already be within TXC, every Tuesday is a Zoom call with the founder, gives an update of what's going on and things that are coming up and things that have already happened with the project. Normally, as you earn commission through this project from the affiliate program, you get paid out on Wednesday. He was nice enough to bless us with a payment last night and presented a great buying opportunity for TXC. Normally, I've taken any of the commissions that I've earned, I've taken them as hash power because hash has always been more valuable to get more mining power to get that daily accrual, the yield of those coins up. But for the sake of the video, for the sake of the position and timing of things, I saw a value in taking it as USDC, which allowed me to buy some at the live market. So this is TXC on CoinMarketCap, sitting at an average between the exchanges of about 385. If we come over here, we see a 24-hour volume of 700,000. Phenomenal. One of the things that we've kind of seen, if you look at the second volume, was 790. The first was 660, 614 on the 30th, and then we fell down to the 387. That 200 to 300,000 range has kind of been, or it's really like 250 to 350. It's kind of what the average has been over a long term, with a couple spikes here and there when activities jumped up. Really looking to see this kind of stick with average over 500,000 a day, because that's more than 100,000 coins trading. That activity and that circulation is going to be good for this project long term, and for the growth at the market value. And the value of this coin is going to create the excitement needed to gain more people in the sales side. So what happened and what was talked about on the Zoom call last night was how this is the first month on the path to 16 that was written and established that it is not gonna make the goal, or didn't make the goal. This was the first loss. So this 379 price was October's goal, and we're still kind of there. The goal for November was this 529 price that was hit back here, and you can see that it was in November. It was up there. The beginning of November, it had a couple days around that price. What came out was that the market wasn't ready for that. There's not enough buyers ready for this price. We're going to make this one a different color just because that was November. But overall, if you zoom out and you look, the project is still well above the uptrend line. Price is still growing at a great rate. We could even do a sharper one off of this. Let's go there and skip one and go there. We're going to make this one purple. Okay, make them whatever color you want to make them. That helps you with the visual. What we're seeing is this is the downtrend that was established off of this parabolic move up. That was a FOMO-driven move as they were going to Asia. It was introducing international. There was a lot of big crypto eyes on it, and this created a little bit of a buying frenzy, and then it was well above the goal, which caused profit-taking to happen and brought it back down to kind of its value of where it's kind of hanging. So seeing that it's been at this value for a long time, and volume is picked up on Bitmart finally on the exchanges, but I've been using PyNX.us. So the reason why I like this one is it's US friendly. You'll actually see it as WeBot on your app on your phone. It still shows up as PyNX.us on the computer, but it is also they're transitioning to call it WeBot for US, PyNX for the international, and technically it's on this one. This is the Asia version of PyNX. So there's a couple different versions, which a little bit, I guess, annoying maybe, not sure how you want to call it, but that's what's going on to make sure that you can find it. So what happened is I got my USDC But TXC is paired with USDT on most exchanges. Biconomy and XT, I believe it's paired with USDC. But I needed to transfer my convert my USDC that I got as my commission into USDT to be able to trade and buy. PieNX makes it very easy. I come over here to the trade tab, come down here to convert, click on that. I went over here. I had USDC right here, and I wanted to convert it into USDT to be able to go buy the coin. So I picked right here. I hit max. If you ever get your USDC and you're like, I need to withdraw some because I gotta pay to fix my car. I just broke something, brake. I need to get new brakes on my car. So withdraw some, but I'm going to send some that I want to add to my wallet of TXC. Convert it, boom. Takes about 10 seconds, and then you're ready to go. PieNX has this great feature built in. You don't have to go subscribe to one from somebody else on a third-party platform and try to link it and get it all synchronized and do anything crazy. You can literally come right within the exchange and say, I want to just build a trading bot. And it'll do it for you for that, for any of the exchanges here. So if you're looking at the bots, they're powered based on the chart being analyzed by ChatGPT. So they're AI driven. You can come directly into this and just copy trade. Or you can look at any of the bots that they offer, and they all have different kind of styles and different kind of goals on what they can produce for you. And it gives you a little bit of a rundown on them, of what they do. The easiest one and the most common one that we're going to use is this grid trading bot. And what the grids are actual sell orders and buy orders. And they spread them out over multiple. So as the price comes down, you buy gradually. And as the price goes up, you sell gradually, creating profit. So within the grid bot, you can go into the copy strategy and you can say, you know what, I want to just do what is the 30-day strategy for TXC? I don't have any money available to start it right now because I have it all allocated, but I can still click on here and look at the parameters of what they suggest. The price range that they're suggesting based on ChatGPT is this $2.99 to $4.50, and that's because within the 30 days, it's been in that range. From what I've charted and looked at, and also based on this path to 16 that's been established, that even though that they missed this 530, there was some action up here in the $6 range. And then even like this wick, wicks show us kind of a support and resistance line of 580. So we want to say, okay, $6 is going to be my top. So when I come in here and I want to set up a bot, I come in here and I'm customizing, setting my own. The lower price, I'm going to say $3 because that should be the support line. So if it breaks below $3, the bot stops trading. It's not going to buy anything or sell anything below $3. It's just going to sit idle and hold. And then on that top end resistance, we're looking at 6. You might sit there and be like, well, if the price goes above 6, why do I want it to stop? Well, in case it's a parabolic move like the one that happened back in September of the Asia excitement, it went up really high and then it dropped down because of the pullback of that not being a really accepted price. That was off FOMO. So to avoid getting caught with prices above its normal zone, you want the bot to be within the parameters that you want. And once it goes above it or below it, you can reset and do a new bot, or you can buy and sell based on your own intuition. But you're just kind of setting this as a max that if it goes above it, you want to reassess, figure out what's going on, what caused it, what's the new range that I want to trade in, and then you can set up that way. So that's just what the upper and lower is, nothing crazy about those. And then the grids, this is the amount that you want to spread out that order in. So when you do, if you only do like 4, every time it's going to trade, it's going to be a huge profit. But it's not going to trade very often because the price has to move that much to capture that profit. So if you want to just capture big moves and you want to kind of sit idle, you'll look and get on a very small grid count, like 4 grids, you're going to see 19 to 30% per transaction. But you're not going to get a lot of activity. If you do 4D, now you're only going to get 1 to 2% profit per trade, but you're going to get way more trades. Getting more trades and more activity is how you accumulate. So when you set it up and you make sure that you check the option that it says to reinvest your profits, as it's making the profits on each trade, you might start by holding 100 TXC. But as you're making profits, all of a sudden you have 101, 102, 105, 106, 110, and you're getting more of the coins. It's called accumulation by auto investing your profits back in. It's getting you a bigger position. So then when the price does spike up and jump up, well, now you have more of the coin that's allowing you to have more profit. And if you're in this project specifically, looking at the long term of it, because you're in the first 2 years, hasn't been around very much. Realistically, it's only been active for about 8 months on the trading market in the exchanges, and even then it was on only the smaller tier 3 exchanges that weren't very active to many investors. No big investors have really came in here and just swooped it all up. This has been a very slow organic growth that's caught legs and has built a really good foundation and is setting up to be a good access to many people that are going to make good money on this, and not just some people, a few rich people going to come in and sweep it, move the price around and dictate what happens. There are a lot set up to allow majority to gain from this than just the minority rich and wealthy. So again, we can go forward and we can say, what does 100 grids do? You're going to get a fraction of a percent, but you're going to get a lot of trades and a lot of action. You can go all the way up to 250 if you want to go crazy, and you're going to get tiny action, but a lot of orders back and forth. But when you do more grids, what you have to remember is it takes more money to fund that. So you're looking at $396 to fund a 250 grid bot versus only $10.80 to do a 5 grid bot. So for as little as $10, you can activate this grid. If you say, I want to just do $100, I think that's around 60, if I remember. 60 grids. That's great action. You're going to get a lot of trading volume, and it's going to be very conservative price movement. You're not going to get a huge rich move off that. You're going to contribute to the growth of the project as the exchange gets more liquidity and more volume based. And you're going to accumulate shares along the way. $100 is all you have to do on that one. Back at the end of November 20th, I actually have this video on my YouTube channel, but I started a challenge and I updated it throughout of, kind of me versus the bots. And the way that I trade is off of these trend lines and pivot points based off resistance and support, and try to make a decent profit and then a pullback and then re-enter kind of thing. Whereas the grids are high frequency trading. So I did my trades $100, and I made about 25% profit on that 10-day stretch. And then I allowed I did the AI bot to see what they were doing, and they chose 56 grids as their desired amount back then at what what TXC's chart was showing. So I picked that 56 grids and I gave them $100. They were making between 0.7 and 1.6% per trade, decent profit. And I was like, well, I want to keep it around $100, but I'm going to try to do less grids to see if it catches those profit points better. Personally, I play baseball as 22 was my number, basketball and all. I like double digits. I'm just 11, 22, 33, 44. Those kind of things always kind of capture my eye. So if you're ever looking at the market and you see a big repeating number, that's probably me. But I chose 22 grids. And this profited about 15, 16% in that series. And then the 56 grid one that the AI bot did profited like 12%, 8 or 12%. So good profit on all of them. But my bot was better on that 10-day stretch. And then my trades were better. But again, the cool thing about these bots, and they could have easily beat me. If TXC ran a different direction, the bot would have easily beat me because I have to sleep. And I'm not active trading 24/7. I have to work. So in order to put some money aside and let the bot do the work and capture all these along the way, that's a very, very good strategy. And I have bots active that are working right now to do that. But when I got my commission last night, I transferred it over and I created. I actually bought at the market. So again, just a retouch on the grids. These are all going to be the grids. So when you see these micro fractional quantities, these are most likely bots that are acting on these trades to build up a position by scaling in and scaling out. But what I did last night, and the reason I wanted to make a video while I was doing it, but it was too good of an opportunity because TXC's price was at 362 on TXC. And I was on the Zoom call at the same time as doing this, so I didn't make a video. But these are my trades that I did last night. Because the liquidity is kind of lower on PyNX and TXC in general, I had to cap them at 50 block orders, which is okay because I was also trying to not spike the price real crazy and then drop it down. I was trying to build genuine support in this price range and then also get myself a decent price on buying it. So my very, very first order, while it was 366, is I placed it up to 370. So I bought everything all the way up to 370. And then here's those repeating numbers that I told you about is 3711, 37222, 37333, 37444, 37555. And then I had to buy all the way up to 380. And then 382. And then I was like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna slow down. It's not filling as fast, and I'm gonna create a weird surge in the price that wouldn't be healthy for the price. So I let it cool down. I let all the bots kind of redistribute and kind of reprice and balance. And then I came back in 377, 37877, 3887, 388, 3889, 3889, 3999, 380, and 3001. Just to kind of complete out, I think I got some at 38002. Then 3811, 3811, 381, back to 38, and then 3799 again. Filled that order, $1,000 of USDC, transitioned into TXC. I think I accumulated like 200. We could look. I don't remember what the exact number was. But these are all the TXC that I ended up buying along the way. So I injected live liquidity into the market, building a sustainable price, and I got more TXC than what I would be mining. Right now, based on the mining shares, we're only getting about 0.4 coins a day per 100 hash. So at that rate, and I got well over 260 TXC, that's over 1,000 days of accumulation, and I was able to get it in one day. So for me, that provided kind of a near-term growth opportunity that I'm in now, and it also helped the market. So helping the market is this liquidity, where this is the total supply of TXC that has been mined so far. It started with 0 and has built up to 60 million TXC has been mined. But we were talking less than 100,000 or about 100,000 are only being traded a day, or bought, sold, traded, however you want to call it, in the markets. So that's fractional percent, very, very fractional. There's not a lot. And it's okay that they're not very active. Being a miner only is part of the project too, just the same. But when we step and look at the growth of the value of the project, the mines are number one in determining the value of the project. My pops Steve is in Texas right now. He's building these mines. As Bobby on the Zoom call last night bought more and is keeping him busy and keeping the project growing. It's nice to see, one, the money going into the mines, and then two, I can validate that my dad's over there. I haven't seen him in a while. He's building and putting this network to test and to build, and establishing that product that is going to become the value. Well, where the value of the product comes in is also in the market side. And people have to buy the coins to show that there's value. And buying mining shares is great because that helps build the product. Also got to buy some coins at the same time. Doing both is a true strength. So when you're looking at these exchanges, everybody knows about Coinbase. That's one of the biggest ones, and TXC is not on it yet. Well, it hasn't quite established itself enough to get that invite, and it's not worth paying to get that premium spot to get listed on it by way of paying, because it's going to take up all of the funds to get on there and then be out of control. Where a nice solid steady build of organic growth on exchanges and then building up the market while the product is being built is a good, healthy growth. So being a U.S. crypto coin mined in Texas, all geared around Texas economy, USA all the way kind of thing, right? Even though we love the international support and build out of these other exchanges, not all of these exchanges are easy for U.S. users to access. Buyconomy is probably the biggest one for U.S. users. And then PieNX, even though PieNX.com is international, Weebot is the app for PieNX.us. So if you're a US user, make sure you go to PieNX.us. Otherwise, you have to do some tricks and stuff to get access. And then Pikel is the Asia version of PieNX. So those are kind of linked. But the other US exchange that's not showing on CoinMarketCap yet is Weex, W-E-E-X. So there's 3 exchanges that are US friendly where you could jump on, link a bank, throw a little bit of money. You don't have to try to do secondary transfers and exchange USDC to USDT and do any other, no loops or hurdles. You can go directly on and buy it direct. Again, Buyconomy is linked with USDC. PieNX is USDT. So make sure when you're buying and trading, make sure you have the right one so you're not having to lose too much in conversions. But, these are all tier 2 exchanges. These are better exchanges in the eyes of CoinMarketCap, which will verify and get those other tier 1 exchanges to throw out the invite. DexTrade, I'm not sure about Jew, and then Pikel, obviously, because it's kind of a third-hand version of PieNX. They are tier 3 exchanges. They don't report and verify everything. They don't have their reserve data. So CoinMarketCap doesn't count those the same as these other ones. So that's why the primary focus is on Bitmart right now and MEXC. These are the 2 biggest exchanges that they're listed on. On the US side of things, Buyconomy and PieNX are the 2 biggest ones for US exchanges, and then Weex is coming and growing to be a part of. So any of them are going to help support the project in establishing a good price. Obviously, it's a two-edged sword. Price down means that we can accumulate more for the people who believe in it now. With the price up, it shows more value to those that are looking at getting the mine. The price is growing steady though. So even though we missed the path to 16 goal of November of trying to be 529 by attempting to get there a month too early, not a failure, I don't think. Look at these price directions. We're still well above that, and we're probably looking at somewhere early in the next couple weeks getting out of this downtrend if this uptrend right here continues. This right here, if we just go bink and bink, make this green for good, price hasn't broken down below this, meaning that we're going up. So around this is looking at the end of this weekend or into next week, possibly testing this point to see if it can break out above. Good time to buy. If the price is in this 385, there's a lot of support and there's a lot of liquidity in this zone. So for new investors or for people who are looking to accumulate more coins, it's a great buying opportunity in this 375 to 385 zone. But that doesn't mean stop buying at 4. If you really believe in this project is going to keep going forward and you're looking at 16 and 20 and 150 or any of the price predictions that could be possible down the road as layer 2 comes out or phase 2 comes out and the layer 2 tokens come out, phase 3 comes out, the project is not just the mine. Right now the mine is looking to be built. It's only 20% of the way there. Especially as this gets closer to 60 or 80% of the way built, there's going to be a lot of hype and a lot of anticipation on the next phase and the next value base to this growing. And the opportunity is now if you're a believer. There is risk, but with risk comes reward. So I definitely have a lot of confidence in this, and I don't mind missing the path to 16. I know it's very upsetting that we were on such a good path of getting there, but as long as we're moving up, it's a great investment. If you look at the volatility of crypto market especially, but even if you look across any exchange for stocks are up and down. We have the Fed being crazy, Venezuela being crazy, China's always crazy. There's a lot of tension in the world that creates uncertainty, and anytime there's uncertainty, it creates a downward pressure on value. And you need to have certainty to see the price going up. And for one thing that I know with certainty is the mine is being built, consistently growing this network that's going to consistently grow this value, and these trends should continue. Based on my personal opinion, that is not financial advice. I'm not a crypto guru. I don't have the certs, but I definitely see growth in this project, and I'm excited to be a part of it both as a miner, an investor, and a trader. So if you have any questions on how to partake in more and see where this could go, feel free to shoot me a message or ask away. If you want a video specifically touching on anything, I'll jump on that too. So let's see where this goes together.